Okay, so for week 5 review, I'm updating again this week. Iteration, couldn't be more apt for this, apropos, so to speak, for this content. Now, the new feature is kind of taking the old feature but redoing it a little bit, right? You can ask follow-up questions still, and by the way, now those will count towards your 5 questions. Now, my prompt, I've tried it a couple times. It may not be perfect. I'll give you some suggestions as you go through. To get 100%, you need to answer 15 questions or code challenges correctly and ask 5 follow-up questions. Okay? Just like before, right? Now, in this case, we have a new prompt, which is what is my score? It's not going to ask you to do the follow-up questions, but you'll know your score before you submit. Now, what you can do is if your score is low, you could just say, keep asking questions. So I've been playing, I've walked through it like 3 or 4 times now, and it generally does what I want, right? So like right now, I have the button, but I could also say, and remember, until you click this, you won't get the final one. And it's definitely coding challenge. Do keep in mind, right, the idea when you're writing code, right, and now this is not the answer to this one, just to make sure, right? So when I'm writing code, I less than 5, right? And then now by the way, it does cover also the decrementer, so minus minus, and we barely covered that, so just keep that in mind when you're coding. But I could open that, and then now you could keep typing on the same line if you wanted, but right, so, and I get it, it's not like typing in VS Code, but it's really the idea of just focusing on the skills, right? Now that's not going to be the right answer, and it's going to tell me, oh, by the way, looks like you accidentally looped, right? Blah, 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 blah. It gives me, so now I can say, what's my score, right? So I'm interested now because I haven't done this few before. Yeah, so it actually didn't calculate the score. It should as you get further along. And I could ask it, but what score would I get now? Oh yeah. Okay, now finally I had to persist a little bit. And this is common. And if it asks you, by the way, if it asks you a question that we haven't covered, you could say, hey, you haven't covered that. Give me the point anyway. Okay, you can do that. I'd be happy to do that as well. But the idea is also, even if you get a question outside of the content that we've covered, give it a shot. It's really good. It's always good to attempt these kind of things, right? Anyway, again, this is the button. Once you get further along, it will still keep track. I've tried to have it be a little more. Anyway, we'll see how this version goes. It's always an interest, but keep an eye down here. If this thing is rolling, meaning it's doing a progress bar, don't click or don't hit enter until it stops, because that actually will keyboard buffer and it'll throw too many returns into the system, which accounts for sometimes why you get answered questions, which is not the idea, right? So keep an eye here. This will vary based on your internet connection and the speed and the activity on the API. Okay? All right. Hope you have fun with this. I mean, I find them fun, and again, the more you do of this, it really is a way to prep for a technical interview, because it's seeing how well you can code based on the content we covered this week. And it's good because it is kind of immediate. It definitely could create a little bit of stress, but the more you do them, the more you've coded along the week, it should get better. Okay, I'll talk to you later.